Hello, here I am reading Jessie's Indigestible Incident today. Thanks for joining me. Hi, how are you doing? It's really warming up here in the valley, and in fact, it got really hot the last couple of days. Today it's cooling off, but it's really hard on dogs when it's hot outside. So there's a few things you want to be careful of. You want to make sure, because heat exhaustion is common around here where it's warm with dogs. You want to be really careful that they're always, like with a human and a dog, same thing. You want to make sure that they're hydrated when it's hot. So we have several bowls of water, like in the kitchen, in the bedroom, outside. So you want to be make sure that you're always checking to make sure they have enough water. Do you know what it looks like when a dog gets overheated? They just really start to pant really hard and breathe really fast. So you always want to be careful of that. If they're exercising, if you're out in the heat and you're walking, you want to make sure you take little breaks, get in the shade, give them water breaks. And Jessie was kind of not liking the heat the last couple of days. By the end of the day, she was panting and breathing really fast. And I'm pretty sure it was the warmth. She might have been in a little pain at the end of the day from her leg because she still is recovering. And even though she's completely weight bearing, which makes us really happy on that surgery leg, she is kind of still at the end of the day a little bit tired. But anyway, Jessie really likes ice. So in fact, when she hears the ice maker, so we have one of those on the refrigerator door, the ice and water come out. When she hears the ice, she perks up. She could be sound asleep. She hears it. She just loves ice. Now, ice is good for dogs. It's okay for dogs to eat ice. It's not bad for their teeth or anything, because I have checked with the vet just to be sure, because she's like obsessed. Before we had this refrigerator, we had, we have the same kind with the refrigerator drawer on the bottom, and we had to open the drawer to get the ice. Every time the drawer would open, she'd be right there to get ice. But it's not bad for them. The only time it would be bad to give them ice, and a lot of ice, is if it is really hot. It's really not a good way to cool them off. I know in our minds you think, oh, ice water, it's going to cool them down, but it actually has, in extreme heat, has the opposite effect. So you're going to want to be careful and give it in moderation. I mean, she likes ice all year long, even when it's cold outside. So good for them if they like it. Tucker doesn't. He's all about texture, and he just doesn't eat a lot of things that Jessie likes. So yeah, she loves ice, and it's good for dogs. It's okay for them as long as it's not super, super, super hot and you're trying to cool them off that way. So yeah, so what else do I want to say about panting? And dogs basically sweat through their mouths. So sometimes they drool when they're hot. It looks like their mouth's watering and water's dripping out off their tongue, but that's how they let heat out when they're overly heated after exercising or being outside when it's a hot day. And they always have to pant extra hard to cool off. It's their body's way of getting their temperature cooled off. Okay. All right, enough about that. Let's start reading Jessie's Indigestible Incident. All right. Well, hello. Remember me? I'm sure you do. I'm that gorgeous celebrity that everyone, who's anyone, is talking about. That's right. I'm Jessie. No? I'm the one with the lopsided ears, one up and one down, and a cute beauty mark on my nose and chest. Still no? I have my own special style when I walk. It's almost like dancing. a little bit of walking, a little bit of wagging my beautiful tail. Let's call it waggling. Just another of my unique talents. Still don't remember? Where have you been? I know. I'm the one with the funny whiskers, one side black, the other white. I knew you'd remember me. How could you not remember the gorgeous pit bull with the pink feather boa? There is no other, just a little old exception with my story. Ever since my mom found me at the shelter, I've had this little issue where I gobble my food. I don't know why, but nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to eat my food. Probably comes from having to eat whatever I could find when I lived on the streets. Well, on this particular day, I refused to eat anything. My mom knew something was wrong because, well, me not eating. So she took me to the veterinarian. Let's just call him the vet. Much easier. Now, I don't like to go to the vet's office. Don't get me wrong. He's nice and all. I just don't like that he has to pay attention to the other dogs. I mean, I'm Jessie. Why does he have to be nice to the others? I'm Jessie. Enough said. When we got there, I tried to give my usual hello by wagging my tail, but I couldn't get my wag up to speed. It just sort of flopped from side to side. He offered me a nice little treat, but I refused to have anything to do with it. Again, not something I would normally do. I love treats. True. They walked me from the exam room to the back of the hospital where they had this machine that could look at my insides. They called it an X-ray. It could tell if something was wrong in there, but he said nothing looked strange. If you ask me, looking at someone's insides is strange, all by itself. They sent us home. I still didn't feel like eating. Mom tried beef and rice. No. She tried feeding me boiled chicken. No. She even tried Alaskan cod, my mostest very favorite food in the whole world. Still, nope. So, the very next day, it was back to the emergency pet hospital. It was horrible. Mom cried because she was so worried. I was getting weak. I didn't even want to drink water. This is where it gets a little embarrassing. Mom had to carry me because I could hardly stand up. The emergency vet wanted to do something called a surgery. He thought I had something in my insides that caused an infection. Now, I don't know what a surgery is, and I don't know what an infection is. All I knew was that I didn't feel good. I wanted to go home. When they admitted me to the hospital, they wrote American Pit Bull Terrier on my paperwork. Not this again. We're just like any other dog. Most of us are just happy to have someone to love. One of the techs had a pit bull at home. She was extra nice. She called me a velvet hippo. She said it was a nickname for pit bulls because our hair is so soft and shiny, like velvet. Also, our big heads and short squatty bodies make us kind of look like a hippopotamus. I like hippos, even though I never saw one. A real one anyway. I don't see the resemblance. At least not with me. Does she look like a hippo? Anyway, I was hungry, but food just didn't sound good. I started thinking about what I had done in the last few days. There was that business card that I ate, and that tissue I scarfed from the trash can. Those were no problem. I'd eaten plenty of them before. A couple of days earlier, I was sniffing around the house, smelling all the smells like I normally do. I found this extra stinky sock in the clothes hamper. Now, I love to chew on soft things. That's why all the blankets in our house have holes in them. This sock was one of Mom's. I could smell her, and it was extra soft. I picked it up with my mouth, and out the door I ran. Sometimes Mom sees me with socks, and just as I start to get them down my throat, she pulls them out. I know it's a bad habit, but I can't be entirely perfect, can I? This time I got away with it. I swallowed the sock whole. That must be what is making me sick. That nice little extra stinky sock was stuck inside me. I got to thinking about other things I had eaten. There was that $20 bill on the table. That came out. And that stinky glove in the garden. I chewed the fingers and the thumb off. They all came out. I even ate a part of the TV remote. That came out too. Somehow they had all come out. Why was this sock making me feel so sick? The next thing I remember was the techs petting and talking to me. They were so nice. I must have fallen asleep. When I woke up, I felt different. I had tubes attached to my paws, and all my beautiful hair was gone from my belly. And I had small silver lines all over my tummy. They kind of looked like jewelry. Is that what I look like under my hair? What happened while I was asleep? Surgery? Anyway, I was very tired and I still didn't want to eat. They offered me boiled chicken. No. They offered me beef and rice. No. They didn't have any Alaskan cod, so they offered me canned cat food. Yeah, that is so stinky I usually can't resist, but not this time. Everything they offered me looked like socks. Socks in a bowl? Yummy! Not. Chicken was white socks, the beef and rice were striped socks, and the cat food was brown socks. Yuck! I was not going to eat a bowl of socks. Ooh! Who wants to eat socks in their bowl? The tech took me out of my cage and we slowly and carefully walked down the hall to a small room. I had to be careful because I still had that tube taped to my paw and all that jewelry on my tummy was not comfortable at all. Once we got into the room, guess what? My mom was there. I was so happy to see her. I couldn't jump up, so I just wagged my tail as best I could. I held my gorgeous ears back so she could pet my face. She put a bowl of something on the floor and sat right there next to me. She was petting me and talking to me, and guess what? In the bowl was my favorite, you guessed it, Alaskan cod. My mom brought Alaskan cod to the emergency hospital for me. I forgot all about the bowls of socks they were trying to feed me. Suddenly, I felt better. I ate everything in the bowl while Mom was talking away. It was really nice to hear her voice. "Aw, she sure loves you," the text said. I thought, yes, I do. Even more than I love Alaskan cod. I walked out of there with a little extra wiggle in my waggle, probably because of all that jewelry. When we got home, I noticed we had a new clothes hamper, one where the lid snapped shut. Thank goodness. Well, I guess that's the end of my sock tale. Next time, I'll tell you about another one of my adventures. Another one of Jessie's adventures is in the works right now. A new book about her gotcha day. It's come along really well. We've done several edits. The words are on the page. Everything's scanned into the computer. And now it's just a matter of finishing things up and putting final touches. So I will keep you posted along the way. Remember, be really careful with your dogs and cats. And if it's warm where you live, just be really careful that they have plenty of water and that you're looking for signs of heat exhaustion. That's a mouthful. Heat exhaustion. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. I will be back on Friday to read live. Please watch me on YouTube. I have downloaded all of my readings that I've been doing since the school closures, and I will continue doing this throughout the summer. At least one, if not 2 days a week. Now I'm down to 2 days. Tuesdays and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time. And they're all downloaded on YouTube, so you can watch them there too. Thanks again for joining me. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.